Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Whatever time you'll be watching this live video, I'm coming on. Have a topic today. I hope that it will be interesting and we can have a little debate. Those of you who are on my Patreon platform, remember to check tonight for the story. It's going to be an inspirational story about an apology and how it can save something that you might think could not be saved. Welcome, welcome. I hope that you can hear me. Hey, Mario, can you hear me? I hope that the sound is okay. Today, the topic of this video is are Ukrainian women asking for too much from relationship with a man? I have a little bit of a maybe misunderstanding or a conflict of opinions, maybe. One of my very dear subscribers reached out to me and told me, why do you talk about American men this way? They are a lot better than you describe. And I just want to bring a clarity that often in my videos, I also apply to the demographics of men who were raised by feministic women, and they also were raised in a sort of somewhat shallow, somewhat 50-50 roommate mentality, free sex, free love, uh, having children before marriage. So they don't have installed these qualities. I'm not saying that all younger men or these demographic of men are like that. No, absolutely not. It depends on the family. But I hope if you are watching right now, uh, I just want to tell you that, of course, I do not think low about American men as a whole. I really think that American men are some of the best family men out there, and younger men can learn a lot from the more mature older generation for sure. So that's might be another video, but today we are going to talk about, are Ukrainian women asking for too much from a man, from their relationship with men. And I want to give a little bit different perspective. Sometimes we look at things and we only see them one way. I mean, actually, all the time we do it quite often. We see things only one way, our way, and we only see ourselves as, oh God, that's another thing I need to do. She wants something, everybody wants something, I have to be this, I have to be that to fit in. But my perspective today is that I'd like to share with you guys. Welcome, welcome everybody. Good to see you on my unexpected live show. Is that I feel that one of the great things about feminine women, in this case, we're talking about Slavic culture, is that they give you an opportunity to shine. Once again, they give you to be an opportunity to shine and to be a hero, to be proud of your manliness and manhood, and will be and giving you a space to execute. A lot of times, very often, in Western society, I feel that women make fun of men and that they are useless and helpless and clueless about a lot of things, and also with their competing, or I'm better than you, I'm better than you, in my career, or I make more money than you, or I don't need you, I'm stronger than you, I'm a strong woman. And when you have a strong woman that try to compete and put down your every decision, after a while you stop offering. After a while you don't really have a place for yourself. You don't have a chance to show what you can do. I call it, you don't have a space to be useful and to feel good about yourself and be a hero, because we all have certain things we do on a daily basis, and when there is a challenge, a lot of men step in naturally and they want to be heroes. They want to save the day, do something. I had times when I started driving and my car broke down. I had times when my tires were. I didn't drive in Ukraine, so I had challenges. I couldn't understand how to get around. For those who don't know me or new on my channel, I live in Michigan, so I was lost in the woods, and every single time I would ask a man, I would ask a woman too, of course, but I feel more comfortable to ask a man to get dirty, to get and figure out my tires and do all of these things. And every single time I could feel there was excitement to help, and yes, I feel that modern culture, modern society, trying to make feminine women look as if they are needy and helpless and clueless because they want to see their man playing their role. Once again, I feel that in the modern society, the feministic outlooks try to make feminine women looking clueless and helpless and needy when they just want to give men a space to be the man. We're not trying to take your place. And I think that's probably one of the most attractive things about feminine women. We talk about Ukrainian women, but I don't discriminate on this channel. It could be a lady from any background, any religion, and anywhere in the world that is capable of doing a lot of things, but she wants to give him an opportunity to show what he can do. And I want to hear your opinion, guys, on this. On this sunny, beautiful day, by the way, guys, we have a national holiday today because sun is up. So I'm sending you a smile, and this is one of my personally favorite topics. As women, we are guilty of correcting men when they're trying to help. And I used to do the same mistake when, my partner, my man, my husband, during years, at any point in time, oh, you're not doing the dishes right, or you're not holding the vacuum correctly, or not moving the lawn in the correct way. And then I remember just looking at myself and thinking, you are just a nagging and nagging creature because be happy that he is doing that alone, and you don't need to take off your heels, and compromise your beautiful nails, and because you might break them as you do that. Just encourage him and say thank you, and you can suggest and make him feel good so he wants to do it again. And then after a head that breaks through, I realize also that men really, really need that space of being useful, because each and every time, and I've noticed that dynamic quite a bit, that each and every time when, as women, we take initiative and we decide, okay, he's useless, so I'm gonna be the breadwinner. He's useless, so I'm gonna be doing this work. Like, each time we try to take away responsibilities because we think he's not doing them well enough, it's really the relationship will go to the stage of unrepairable, because men need to fill up their time with something. They need to feel that you being useful, and so they might go out and find somebody who happy to see them, who considers them useful. They might start helping the neighbor girl, with her yard, or with her car. And each time when the man decides to stop because he gets so much criticism, he's becoming weak, he starts doubt himself, and the woman becomes stronger and she becoming the boss. There is no chance of survival of that relationship unless the guy will agree to be stepped on. So it's not a good dynamic. It's not. So I've learned, it's really funny because I think that feminine, every woman has that feminine essence. And a friend of mine told me, we were on vacation one time, and so I needed to open a box of tea. It was a tin box of tea, tin, I believe it's spelling as tin. And I was just playful, and I asked the man next to me to open the box of tea. And the girl, my friend, she told me later, I was observing you and I could not believe that you would ask, a man to help you with all these things that you're totally capable of doing. And I realized that when we are in our feminine flow, we don't even know this. We're doing this organically. We flirt organically. We smile. We're doing different affectionate moves, and just all these things. They are in us. It's only when it's taking responsibility upon responsibility upon responsibility, we gaining that stress hormone cortisol, and we becoming men, and we're starting to compete with men, and we don't feel that feminine essence in us anymore. And so, you know this is where things go wrong, because we lose also sexual desire for a man, because we are becoming one. So how will I submit to you if I am the boss? And submission is not necessarily a bad thing. We'll talk about this in the next video. But to answer the question today, are Ukrainian women asking too much from a man? My personal opinion is this: when you're with the right woman, and you feel that you are creating, you're becoming your best version, you discover of how much you're really capable, you find satisfaction in doing things, um, you really step to the highest of your potential you didn't even know you were capable of. To my opinion, that is just right. That is something that you might have not discovered if you would not find the inspiration. Now, if you don't enjoy her demands or her expectations, if they feel foreign to you, if you're uncomfortable with this, um, if somehow they um, make you feel as a less of a man, that's a different question. Maybe you are with the wrong lady. Maybe she's the wrong type of the lady for you, or uh, any number of reasons. So please don't take this video as if you are, uh, you know, supposed to answer to every request. You know better what is really inspiring you, and um, helping you to really unlock your or unleash your power and your potential, because that's what happened. This is what happens when you are with the right person. Everything blooms, everything multiplies, and everything thrives. When two people, I don't think there is ever a conflict between two people in a relationship when they blame, oh, you're doing too much, or I'm demanding too much. When result of their connection, result of them being together is multiplying everything around them, and multiplying and discovering who they are. I think that's a sign. Some people can't figure out, oh, does this work for me? Is this work for me? I think the clear sign that things do work for you is when you become bigger and bigger and happier, and you amaze yourself. I think that there are some natural forces that really have been moving this universe for millions of years, and it's impossible to delete the generational memory, memory for hundreds and thousands of years. And I think we respond to certain things. If the woman don't have a place for a man to thrive, if she me, I am doing this better, let me do this, let me do that, how is he supposed to take on that role? And from my experience, what I observe in Ukraine, when more submissive kind of men are with this kind of woman, sometimes it could work, but a lot of time, if this man was not meant to be submissive, if he's a leader, if he used to be breadwinner, but then he fell down and the woman picked up the you know all what he was responsible for, a lot of times, to feel a man, to feel as if he's in charge of something, that he is doing something, he starting to go out and seeing other women and talk bad about you and sleeping around. So basically doing something to make him feel like he's in control of something, and somebody else still wants him, and something makes him feel as a like a man. And by any chance, I'm not defending somebody who is cheating on his own vows, on his own words, but there is a dynamic that shows us. So I really don't think there is such a thing as asking for too much. I think if that feels for you too much, it could be the wrong person with the wrong ideas, or just not suitable for you. I mean, we only live for so long, guys. This year have been such a shocker uh, for many, um, in my personal private life, in lives of many people around me in this physical world. A lot of people we all know who are big time celebrities. We just I'm not following sports, but there was so much, of course, going on with Kobe Bryant's family, and I feel that his death is a shocker for everybody, because I feel like people, regardless of their beliefs and things, really liked him for the man he formed into. And despite of all his achievements, all his outstanding achievements in sports, that he grew in such an incredible man, who was taking care of his daughter, so it's really involved with that, who brought back family values, even though there were some things going on early on. But it's not easy to do all these things in a world where those values are compromised, and given big time to the community and all of that. But it just tells you how short the life is. And so is there really a too much thing? If he would be told, if Kobe would be told, oh, don't work so hard, you're gonna be okay, you have a long time to go, you don't know how long over time you have to go. So this man at 41 had achieved a lot more than some people in 10 lives, in terms of just going hard, having passion for things, and having his why. So is there such a thing as too much? We are all on different levels, we all have different dreams and so on and so forth. But I feel that if you have a person that pushing you to be a better person, if seeing your potential, if waking you up from the deep sleep, and couch surfing or couch sleeping or whatever, is not a bad thing. I believe that we all need that little, motivator, because honestly, as a guy, you can survive, you can probably live in your van, your car, you can probably live in your basement, you can probably live with a mattress on the floor. I know that men are a lot more simple for the most part than us, but would that be the true fulfilled and a great life when you can really express yourself? For some men maybe, but I really think that woman is a great motivator and inspiration in your life. So if her desires bother you, if they don't feel good, maybe you're a mismatch But honestly, it's really nice to have that accountability and have somebody who sees you in a bigger light. You know, when women have no expectation from you, when she say, "Oh, honey, don't worry, I'll take care of this, I'll take care of that," you know, you might enjoy it for a week, but then you're going to lose that stride. You know, a lot of people who go on retirement early, they waiting for this. It's so funny for me. People are waiting. They think that some grand life is going to start when they retire, and for the most part, when they retire, they lose that daily, the daily motivation, the daily push, to do this, to do that, that keeps them young and interested and thriving. So it's not always the best when somebody do not really expect much from you. So that's just my thoughts. I was thinking about this today, and feel free to comment under the video and share some things. Um, I've heard that Ukrainian women are more demanding than other women, but I personally do not see a problem with it as long as you are with the right person, because it might help you to raise some standards. So, with that being said, I'm gonna look at your comments. Welcome back, welcome back. Hey Neil, Neil is probably Neil. Sorry, I'm not too good with names. Welcome, Neil. I've seen you on my Facebook, I think. I think you commented. Hello, Renee. Hello, Chuck. How are you? Chuck is saying that's why we date internationally. Well, Ukrainian women are still beautiful. My God, look at our women in United States. Well, uh, Lawrence says he wants to stay in Ukraine forever. All right, Lawrence. Um, Perfect. I'm glad you enjoying your experience. Rashad says on point as always. Thanks, Rashad. Shout out to the greatest Ukrainian. Oh, thank you, Rashad. You are very, very sweet. Thank you. I appreciate. Neil. I believe it's Neil, right? Says thank you, great insight. You are very welcome. Ukraine women seems much better than those in the West, especially here in UK. You know, guys, I want to say this last thing. Ukrainian women were raised for the most part. You know, all our stories, novels, and the culture was that the man is a hero. You know, we are, daughters and granddaughters and great granddaughters of men who fought in a World War II. So our culture have its own imperfections and issues, but those men that we saw, they were heroes. I mean, they were protecting us. It's a generational memory. You know, I remember my grandfather. I can't imagine him, not taking charge of things. My grandfather by my mother, from my mother's side, he was a colonel in a Red Army, and he was 14 when the war had started, and he didn't think he was a little boy. He was in it. He was a tanker, and he went all the way from the soldier to a colonel. And there were some principles, there were some power about, being brave, protecting your family, going, knowing that you're probably going to die. He was actually injured. I'm amazed that he came back, because we lost millions and millions and millions of men. So I think that is where our respect for men goes, because we are alive today because of our men. Yes, women were doing different things, but somebody needed to take care of children. So, it's difficult, even with feminist movements and all of these things. We have certain response. We have memories and memories and memories that are subconscious of our roles. It's not that easy to wipe all that memory and create these new roles when we are equal and we are the same. We are equal in our rights. Absolutely true. But we are not the same. We could not reproduce if we would be the same. How many children gay couple reproduce? I mean, you can't reproduce, period. That was not the nature's intention and the God's plan. So we are complementary to each other, and that's how this world is spinning. Because and when you're matched with somebody, it's a perfect complement, and you can feel it physically, emotionally, mentally, and it's the most incredible state of mind, when, and that was the intention. So I don't. I want to know, guys, while you're still in life, do you think that Ukrainian women are too much and asking for too much? And I get a lot of comments that, oh, you high maintenance. I hate you. Um, I mean, you, me personally, and Ukrainian women and Slavic women in general. But I you can feel whatever you feel. I'm not trying to say that my opinion is right. It's just a perspective. It's a perspective. It's what we like, and that's what unites us on this channel. And by the way, thank you so much, my new members who've been joining me on Patreon. So I think we have 16 or 17 people. So once we go over 21, I'm gonna figure out how to make live on Patreon, and I believe that you can hop in, and so we can share things, and it can be a great platform, and we can talk about more behind the scenes and intimate things, and without the trolls. Because guys, you see me smiling and being in the good spirits, but to be very honest with you, behind the scenes, I get hate letters, I get criticism, I get all kinds of things, and I have to still uh, do what I do, and sometimes it hurts because we are human beings. We are. I'm not a robot, and I know you're not either. So yes, so I'm very grateful for those of you who are loyal and who understand the purpose of this. So also, nobody is asking you for too much and when they think you are not capable, you know and I don't know what too much is. Guys, once again, I just talked a little bit about Kobe Bryant. um, he was asking a lot from himself, so I really think that it's you decide if you want to open your potential in this life, or you just want to live, sorry for my language, half-ass way, being okay, having no ambition. I'm not a man's life coach in terms of achievements, but you gotta find what you're living for and what's your purpose, and find that woman that have that have connection that with you, and will have that purpose with her together, in terms of uh, that's what she sees in a man. So you don't have that conflict. If you get my point, you don't have a conflict of interest. If they demanding a lot from their man, uh, I'm sure they are just as or even more demanding from themselves. Yes, that's a great point, James. Slavic women are very, very demanding on themselves. It's very true. You will almost think like maybe she has a low self-esteem. She would always be very self-critical, very self-conscious, and always try to be better. And it's very, very true. At least, in my experience, for the most part, that I could relate to, my friends and family and other ladies. I can say that absolutely there there is a lot of things that these women, even motherhood, you will not see a Ukrainian woman that, for the most part, that feeds her child in McDonald's. You will not see a mother that don't comb her daughter's hair, or let their children, wearing messy clothes, or sitting on a computer. All these things that sounds kind of strange, but when I get together with my Ukrainian friends, we all talk. If we talk about the kids, it's all about how do we reduce video games, how do we make how what we do to make them eat real food, how we teach them to respect elderly, and all of that. And it's it's really what it is. So thank you so much. There are definitely a lot of demands they put on themselves. Very true. All right. Yes, well, um, when you have haters, I think you make an impact, and it's they want you to stop, but that's not my plan, and I'm doing this definitely for people who appreciate it. But sometimes somebody gets under your skin, you can't help it. You know, um, yeah, and some people would criticize things you wouldn't even like imagine that they would find. So it's just unbelievable. But honestly, once again, notice when somebody is better than you, um, they will encourage you if you're lucky. For the most part, they don't have any time for you. If they are better than you, if their channel is, hundreds of thousands subscribers, if they are prettier than you, smarter than you, I don't know, have better content than you, they got no time for you because they're working on their own life, right? So that's what I kind of figured out. So I just push a powerful button called delete. But sometimes, there are moments definitely. Okay, Neil is saying my girlfriend grew up in a small Ukrainian village under communism, then went to university in Kiev. She's very demanding on herself. I am lucky to have her. Thank you for sharing that. I believe you. I believe that story. Bill Howard, hello Bill, how are you? Saying Veronica, speak your truth. I agree with you 100%. Thank you so much, and thank you for your support, Bill. Thank you for joining my platforms and just being a great follower. Just so as a lot of you guys, and everybody who comments and shares my videos and subscribes. Thank you so much because honestly, a lot of energy goes into this, and when this message is shared, you never know who might change or take a second look at something. So thank you guys so very much. I feel so bad that so many men are going to their own way, so called. I feel that there are so many men that could have great families and create great impact and leave legacy. And that's one thing if you just don't want none of that, but that's another thing if you don't try out of fear and you really want it deep down but you say no. I actually had guys who would write me that they used to follow, MGTOW. I don't really know much about them except that they kind of hate women. And then they started following my videos. And I, I just had a few stories, few guys. I know it's very difficult to change someone's mind, but I didn't even know it was happening. But I had several guys who thanked me that they took a second look and decided to um, add something more to their life with a partner. It's not for everybody, but uh, a lot of men have so much to give, and it's just a shame if that just goes to nothing one day. So I'm very grateful for those of you who appreciate the content, and it's just really I've actually met a person in person when we person well, forgive me for my continuous words, but yes, I know that MGTOW is a reaction to feminists. Yes, I totally agree. But I met with in person with a man who told me that uh, the videos made a tremendous impact on him, and he started to believe in good and in good women and things like that. So I was in shock. It's each time there is a feedback like this, just know that I'm in tears. Once I switch off my screen, I cry some tears, but these are very happy tears. I mean, they are very they just tears of joy. So thank you so much, everyone. Hello, Phil. Feminism is evil. It comes to no good. Yeah, I mean, it does. The third wave of feminism is absolutely unneeded. Yep. MGTOW is a reaction to the rampant radical feminism in the Western world. Yeah, it is. But then it colors all women this way, and this man makes some decisions that, well, but before you join a movement, you have to make a real research and think about your future and what you're gonna have in future. If you're lucky enough to have that future, you know, because we don't know. I'm telling you guys, that death really, shook me up. I know, even though, once again, I don't follow sports, but just seeing the dad and his daughter, and, you know, example for many people. I feel bad for everybody who have been on a plane or helicopter, but the fact that, we just know more, of course, about somebody when some kind of celebrity, or some kind of, guys, forgive me my language, when somebody is so famous, it really sets an example for us, regular people, to, hey, there are family values, there are good dads, there are good women. So when somebody is famous and they have a good role model, it's always inspirational, because a lot of times we see nothing but gossip. So somebody saying, I'm glad this type of toxic feminism is not in Ukraine. Yes. Yes, radical feminism is evil. Early feminism was needed, so we can vote and work and do our thing. That's another video, guys. Um, Bill Howard says, yes, we must live on purpose. Yes, thank you, Bill. I totally agree with you. So thank you so much for joining this live chat, or this live video. So nice to see you all, and feel free to give me some feedback, some ideas. Those of you on the platform, on my Patreon platform, it's gonna be a video for you today, and also I might create a Facebook group with a Patreon name. So if you have Facebook, I can go live and double. We'll see about that. Still, I have to have more than 21, so I have like 4 or 5 people left. So if you would like to join the platform, please let me know. I'll tell you more about it, or you can just check it out. I'll post the links below. Um, it would be really nice to have a closed panel, so not everybody can access the video. Yes, guys, I agree with all your thoughts. Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. Feminism stems from the liberal way of thinking. All it does, it pushes good men away and make us look for Slavic women. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That was not about basketball. It just was about many things. So guys, let's live to our full potential. Don't be mad if somebody wants to see the best version of you, because that's what you want to see of yourself. With that being said, guys, from Michigan with love, I will see you soon.